Hey friends. So if you're new here, you might know that I like Marathon the Game a little bit. If you're not new here, you definitely know I like Marathon the Game. But what drew me to Marathon? A game that is arguably outside of any genre I ever played, Arc Raiders notwithstanding. Yes, I'm a Bungie fan. Yes, I have over 5,000 hours in Destiny 2, but that doesn't mean that because I play one game by a developer, I'll play another game, because there are plenty of games made by the same developers where I've only played one game in the series. For example, Hideo Kojima. Fantastic. Fantastic mind. I have only ever played Death Stranding. I never played any of the Metal Gears, and that's not because they're bad, it's just Death Stranding called to me in a way that those games didn't. Again, not bad, just different. So, what got me about Marathon? Simple. The art style. I know I've talked ad nauseum about the cinematic trailer, and I'm bringing it up again because it won an award, and it should, because that 8-minute trailer is one of the greatest pieces of cinema I've literally ever seen in my life. The amount of times I have watched and rewatched and rewatched and rewatched and watched that trailer should be studied. If I could tattoo that behind my eyeballs, whenever I close my eyes, I see parts of that trailer, I absolutely would. Hands down. But why am I bringing it up? Aside from the award that they just won, Joseph Cross, who formerly worked on Marathon, he has now since left. He was behind a lot of the art direction and he's just fantastic in general. If you've seen his stuff on Destiny 2 as well, just an incredible mind. As I've said in other videos before, I hope that he lands softly and is appreciated wherever he's at, because the man is a fucking genius. I mean it. The man is a fucking genius. So he basically posted this thread on Twitter thanking everyone for their kind words and enthusiasm for the art style and direction in the announced trailer. And then, of course, it won an award, so that's even cooler. But he wanted to go a little more in depth, and I thought it was really interesting, so I want to share some of the things that he said. As an incredible human being, he instantly credits that this was a result of many artists working together. He is not one to just sit there and take the credit where credit is due. He is sharing it amongst the team because it was truly a team. And I think that's really cool. He says that the reason why he's posting about this is because there's some curiosity around what people are calling the Marathon art style. As I mentioned in a YouTube video, the official name that they call it is graphic realism. And he writes that graphic realism is a production-facing term meant to frame how they think about and prioritize aspects of visual world. So, what are some things that make graphic realism graphic realism? He goes on to write that it is about a simplified and deconstructed universal design language, strong graphic design and color statements, and limited materials. The other side being about realistic proportions and scales, implied functional and detail, and a generally grounded world. The goal was creating a visual brand of science fiction that feels fresh and stands a test of time. And personally, I think they nailed it. I think Marathon visually doesn't look like anything else out there. While it does lend an ear for me personally for things like Cyberpunk, which is a game I think everyone should play in their life, and other such games, books, movies, shows in that genre, I think that Marathon really stands out. I think they nailed what they were trying to do. The world in and of itself is its own thing. So much so that I was like, I don't give a shit what kind of style this game is. This could become a fucking BR. I'm playing it because I want to be in this world that badly. I don't care what I have to do to interact with this world. I just think it's really fantastic and interesting. So they were saying, ironically enough, some of the things that they got inspiration from were games like Metal Gear Solid 2, so maybe a bitch should go back and play it, huh? OG Marathon, not shocked, and Wipeout are full of interesting visual qualities and ideas, just as much as next and current gen games like Death Stranding, which is the love of my life, God of War, fantastic series, I played almost all of them, and The Last of Us, another fantastic video game franchise. Outside of video games, he then credits other visual influences such as Mirror's Edge, Aeon Flux, Ghost in the Shell, Otomo, Koji Morimoto, The Designers Republic, Chris Cunningham, and he says are all within the stew of inspiration. He then goes on to talk about Alberto Mayogo, who worked directly on the cinematic short, and saying that the effect Into the Spider-Verse had on blockbuster animation had given them a ton of strength and confidence to take more visual and creative risks. And I love that he has that call out because Into the Spider-Verse films are a visual feast. I love both of those movies. I've watched them an obsessive amount of times. I'm not a huge Spider-Man person. I'm not even going to lie to you. But just looking at those movies, getting to be in them by visually taking them in is just something that I just my body loves. He also credits their other influences outside of media, such as product and apparel design, photography, science, conceptual art, cinematography. Sports like Formula One and MotoGP are all big sources of inspiration. And I've seen him post images of like helmets from bicycle racing, like people on a bike, like Tour de France style bicycle racing. And it's really cool to see another creative's process. Now, do I think I am on his level of talent? Absolutely the fuck not. Do I think I'm on the level of talent of anybody that took part in that short? Absolutely the fuck not. But as somebody who does creative things, I paint, I write, I am getting better with video editing. It's really fun to hear another creative talk about their sources, because I take inspiration from all sorts of things. I'm working on a script right now. I don't know if it's gonna be a blog post and a video, or just a blog post, or just a video about some games that literally give me creative life. And ironically enough, Marathon is in there, Death Stranding is in there, Cyberpunk is in there. We're not going to get into it because I'm do video for a different time, but I just wanted to talk about the art style of this game, because that was the, like, for Midnight Walk, what got me to play that game was the soundtrack. And I fell in love with the game, and it's arguably one of the best games I've ever played. And it has left an emotional impact on me that I will carry for the rest of my life. Marathon similarly has done that. But for Marathon, the thing that got me and just held me tight was the art style, to where I was like, again, I don't care what kind of game this is. I'm going to play it solely because I want to be in the world. Now, I enjoy the gameplay. I enjoy everything about Marathon, quite honestly. Call me a shill. No one's paying me. I'm shilling for free, baby. But that was the art style. And so it's really neat to get to see some behind the scenes information. I hope Joseph Cross or other members of the team post more about this, quite honestly, because I just enjoy learning about it. I like knowing and learning why creatives do what they do. So let me know in the comments below, do you like the Marathon art style? Was that what grabbed you? Or you can tell me what grabbed you if it wasn't the Marathon art style. Maybe it was the gameplay loop. Maybe it was the narrative. Maybe it was Void is really fucking hot. Who said that? Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in Tau City.